What's up, everyone? I'm Eric Brandt for Blazers Uprise, and this is a quick hitter video on a trade that happened today between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Atlanta Hawks. The Minnesota Timberwolves are getting Crabbe from the Hawks, and the Hawks are getting Jeff Teague and Treveon Graham from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, if you just look at this trade by itself, it makes absolutely no sense from the Timberwolves' perspective. They just traded their backup point guard for a wing, and now they have just Shabazz Napier as the only point guard on their roster. So you have to believe that this is the precursor to another deal for them. They do save about $2 million in this trade, so I guess there could be some financial ramifications if they make another trade where they're bringing in money. The other thing that's tricky is now Crabbe can't be combined in other trades like Teague's contract could, so it will make it more difficult for them to make other trades. It's not impossible. They can still trade Crabbe by himself. But if you were going to combine Teague and another salary, say for D'Angelo Russell or someone like that, then it makes it harder to do. They can still achieve it. It just isn't quite as easy as it was before this trade. Now, the Hawks pick up a quality backup point guard for Trae Young for basically nothing. Crabbe wasn't doing anything for them. So I really like this trade for the Hawks, except for the fact that they're not making the playoffs this year or anything. So Teague is kind of a waste on that team. But I do like the move upgrading a spot on your roster for basically nothing. If you're going to trade an expiring contract for another expiring contract, trading Crabbe for Jeff Teague is about as good as you can do, in my opinion. For the Hawks, I give them a solid B on this trade. It would be higher if it was more of a long-term solution at backup point guard, but overall, trading Crabbe for Teague is about as good as you can do, like I mentioned, so I give them a nice solid B on that one. For the Timberwolves, until I see otherwise, I'm going to have to give them a big F on this one. Now, this is predicated on what other moves they make. They gave up the best player in the deal and didn't even get a second-round pick back or anything like that. In the next 3 weeks, I'm assuming Minnesota is going to go after a big-time point guard. It's possible this trade was simply to clear a roster spot to bring in another player, but it does hurt their flexibility in trades a little bit. But we'll have to see if they do bring in a point guard or what happens over the next few weeks. They better pull off something, though. Otherwise, I have no idea what they're doing, and I'm going to question their direction as a franchise. From the Blazers' point of view, this trade probably doesn't affect anything with them, other than the fact that Minnesota now needs a point guard, and we don't really have a point guard to trade them. Overall, just a really confusing trade. Not really sure what's going on, and I'm interested to see what happens next for the Timberwolves. Blazers Uprise will be the place for all the trade breakdowns once they happen, so make sure you check us out. We'll have a live podcast the night before the trade deadline, going over some rumors and maybe some trades that have already happened. And then the day of the trade deadline, February 6th, we'll be live streaming and talking about any deals and breaking news that happen as they occur. So make sure you guys check that out. Thanks for listening. For Blazers Uprise, I'm Eric Brandt. Peace out. Go Blazers.